Well, it looks like someone is starting to feel the pressure. Today, we have an update on Hank. As well, we have an update on the nuisance streamer Ice Poseidon. It looks like he's up to some really scummy business. And make sure to watch the video all the way till the end, because at the end of the video, I do have a channel update. But first, let's talk about Hank. So if you've been watching the saga, you know that Hank has been suffering the consequences of his association with Johnny Somali recently. His gym membership was cancelled. And earlier this week, Legal Mindset dropped the bombshell that Johnny Somali was being investigated for a new crime. And that one was long overdue. Honestly, the creepy stuff that he has said to young people in South Korea is disgusting. And maybe that was just too much for Hank, because what he did is he started deleting every single video off his YouTube channel. If you go to his YouTube page, which is called Hank the Tank, and the URL is @HankULive, he has the 458 subscribers, but no more videos. They are all gone. It looks like he is completely trying to distance himself from Johnny Somali. But sorry to tell you, Hank, it is way too late for that. The thing with Hank is that he's been pretty pissed off with Johnny Somali for some time. Even when they were live streaming, the vibe was totally off. He wanted Johnny Somali to calm down and stop acting like such an obnoxious drunk, and Somali just couldn't help himself. Now eventually Hank convinced him to totally stop streaming, and now he's going a step further where they are both completely deleting their social media presence. Johnny Somali made his Twitter post private, he got a video taken down, and now Hank wiped his entire YouTube channel. But that doesn't erase their crimes. It just erases evidence that has already been forwarded to the prosecutors anyway. Now, regarding Trell, if you remember, I interviewed Trell last week, and he was supposed to get sentenced this week, where he is facing, I believe, up to life in prison, although it could be a very wide range. It could be 10 years, it could be 5 years. He's facing a lot of time for manufacturing narcotics. And he got really lucky because his sentencing got delayed to September. So he has a couple more months of freedom, but I wouldn't count on it too much, because come September, he will have to face the music. Now, this is going to play an important role for the update that I have later on for you guys in the video, but I want to tell you guys about the 4 eras of Johnny Somali in South Korea. First, there was the crash out era. He acted like a total maniac. He committed all the crimes, the stunts with the statues, getting drunk, and so on. The second era was the apology tour, where he's basically doing a bunch of insincere apologies to try to fix his public image. The third era, which is what we're in right now, is the purging era, where he is trying to delete every single piece of evidence of him from the internet, and he is remaining extremely quiet and doesn't create any form of new content whatsoever, and stays out of the media and out of the eye of the world. Now, the fourth era that is approaching extremely quick is the era of irrelevancy. Johnny Somali will be totally forgotten. No one will mention him besides when there's a legal update, which will only be every couple of months. And he will be totally forgotten and irrelevant. So if you ask yourself, what kind of content am I going to make on Johnny Somali when he's in the era of irrelevancy? I'll answer that later on in the video. But first, let's talk about Paul Danino, which is Ice Poseidon. He took a break after doing his 100 days of nuisance streaming, and now he's up to something extremely dirty. Take a look at this.
I understand that the activities are likely to include, but not limited to, the following: mental and emotional harassment, containment in prison-like conditions in small spaces, acknowledging that the activities are potentially dangerous activities and involve the risk of personal or psychological injury, pain, suffering, temporary or permanent disability, property damage, and or financial loss. Dude, what? We're not even bringing property inside.
Maybe like your socks or something.
All right. So, what you do to us, you're willing to permanently damage us.
No, but, you know, in case that were to happen, you're aware of it.
So let me break down what's happening here. Paul Danino, Ice Poseidon, is organizing some type of prison contest where the contestant will be put in some type of confinement and they will be mentally and possibly physically tortured by Paul Danino and his lackeys. Now, this contract is extremely scummy, especially when it comes to the prize money.
I understand that the host will select one winner of the activities in accordance with the rule that are communicated to the participants. The winner will receive a cash prize that is estimated to be... What do you mean estimated to be 50,000? How is it an estimate?
It's estimated.
Did you just sneak that word in there so you could tweak it if you need to?
It's estimated.
No, these are those Jewish tactics, bro. What do you mean estimated, bro?
Shuvi, listen.
Why is it estimated?
This is legal talk, okay?
Yeah, and you can legally say that it's not 50K.
If you win, you'll get 50K.
Why is it estimated at 50K and not 50K?
My lawyer, his job is to make sure
that you have loopholes and escape routes at every corner?
To make sure that I can't get in any avenue. And if I decide to scam you guys, I could scam you, but I'm not going to. I could scam you, like you scammed me $600 for a flight when you drove here with Zena, you asshole.
What?
So what he's doing right there is scamming with a little touch of gaslighting. In the contract, it says that the prize is estimated to be $50,000. That is not legally binding. They could estimate it to be $50,000 and it turns out to be $4. There's nothing wrong with that. It was just an estimation. And that's why he's trying to put these scummy little fine prints in there to scam his friends. At least they think they're his friends, but he's just using them for money. This guy Shuvi is a total dumbass. Without skipping towards the end of the video, do you think this kick streamer is going to sign this contract? Let me know in the comment section below and let's keep watching.
Like,
what?
The most obvious loophole to not pay and legally scam us ever.
Do you know what the word estimated even means?
It's estimated. It's a guess.
Okay.
It's an approximate.
If I were to give you 5K for winning, that is nowhere near an estimation of 50K. An estimation is what I think and what everybody thinks the prize is going to be, which is what the prize is going to be. So if I give you 5K, you can argue, how is that an estimated 50K?
Okay. Well, still, I just don't see why you wouldn't make it 50,000.
It is 50,000.
It's estimated 50. What are you estimating? You know it's 50,000. Eddie's gonna give you 50 bands to send to someone.
Do you want me to look up the legal definition of estimation?
Sure.
In legal context, an estimation generally refers to the approximate calculation or judgment of the cost, rather than a precise or binding figure. It's a preliminary assessment used as a guide.
So it's a non-binding figure. It's a non-binding figure.
Yeah, but the argument that you could make is if I give you no money, or if I give you 5K, 10K, you could argue, how is that an estimation of 50K? Because as it says here, it's a preliminary assessment. You would argue, where did I get this assessment from?
Yes, preliminary. And then once you go through everything, you can say, oh, actually, we had to allocate some funds into this, so the estimated prize actually dwindled down to only 5K.
Yeah, but that's not going to work in my favor, because then the judge would be like, oh, so you made a competition advertising 50K before putting that 100% as, in the budget beforehand.
So this shyster is talking about what the judge would say, but what he doesn't want Shuvi to understand is that it would cost tens of thousands of dollars to bring Ice Poseidon to court to even get in front of a judge. So obviously this little contract is a cop-out. It's a way to scam the participants without taking much responsibility. So let's just recap. Shuvi knows that he will get physically and mentally tortured, that he may die from this, and that even if he wins, he's not guaranteed to get $50,000. Let's find out if he signs it.
All right, you understand you could leave at any point.
Yeah, allegedly.
No, you just read it. You just signed it.
Yeah. What's the date?
The 18. 6/18. All right. Is that your signature? You don't have like a real signature?
That's my signature, bro.
Okay.
What do you mean? What do you mean a real signature?
Like, you know, cursive.
I don't know what. I don't know how to do
Doesn't matter.
that.
It's fine.
Look at the sneaky look on his face. He can't even believe that this guy's dumb enough to sign it, but yet he did. Anyways, I do want to give you guys a channel update. Like I said, Johnny Somali is entering the arc of irrelevancy, and there won't be much to talk about. So what kind of content am I supposed to make about Johnny Somali when there isn't? The answer is none. I don't want to become like those bullshit clickbait channel where every day there happens to be breaking news, but it's all old bullshit that happened years ago and it's repackaged to make it look as it's brand new. I don't want to be dishonest, and I don't want to treat you guys like that. You guys deserve better. So there probably won't be that many Johnny Somali videos coming up in the next couple months because he is trying to be forgotten. He's trying to stay extremely quiet. And if there's no news, there's no reason to make a video. So I'm going to go back to covering other topics like the TikTok pranksters, the nuisance streamers that aren't Johnny Somali. It might not get as much views, but at least it'll be authentic, fresh new topics to talk about. And I really hope that you guys continue to watch the channel, even though it's not Johnny Somali related. Thank you so much for watching. Let's get to 100,000 subscribers, and I'll see you guys on the next one.